Ever walk away from a conversation feeling like you just ran a marathon because you spent 10 minutes explaining a simple no? You feel like you were just on trial, forced to present a mountain of evidence to justify your own choices or feelings. If this sounds familiar, you know how draining it is. You might end a simple text exchange and feel a wave of anxiety. Rereading your messages to make sure you gave enough context, enough reasons, so the other person would not get upset. But what if I told you this is not some personal failing or a weird personality quirk? For many people, it is a highly intelligent survival response. One common name for it is fawning, and it often comes from a time in your life when you learned that explaining yourself down to the last detail was the only way to feel safe. Today, we are going to look at why you might feel this constant need to justify your existence and how you can start to reclaim your energy and your voice. This feeling of being constantly on trial is not just a metaphor. For so many of us, it is an exhausting reality. It is that gut-wrenching need to write a 5-paragraph essay explaining why you cannot make it to a party when a simple, "So sorry I cannot make it, have a great time," would do. It is the knee-jerk reaction to detail every single reason for a decision at work, terrified someone might question your competence. It is feeling like you have to prove the validity of your own emotions to your partner. It's providing a full-color, footnoted history of why you feel hurt. This pattern, this compulsion to over-explain, is often rooted in a deep-seated fear of conflict, disapproval, or even abandonment. You are not just sharing information. You are preemptively defending yourself against a threat you can feel in your bones. The threat might be someone getting angry, thinking you are rude, or deciding you are not worth having around. So, you build a fortress of justifications around your no, hoping that if you make the walls thick enough, nothing can hurt you. The logic feels sound. They just understand why they cannot possibly be mad. It is an attempt to manage someone else's emotional reaction. But this is an impossible and exhausting job that was never yours to do. You end up becoming a full-time lawyer for the defense, but the person on trial is you. And the courtroom was built from the echoes of past experiences where your feelings were questioned and your boundaries were ignored. Let us get to the heart of this. That compulsion to over-explain is not a character flaw. For many, it can be a trauma response. Specifically, it can be a sign of the Fawn Response, which is part of a popular model of trauma reactions: fight, flight, freeze, and fawn. The term was brought into the spotlight by therapist and author Pete Walker, who works with complex PTSD. He describes fawning as a pattern where people seek safety by trying to merge with the wishes, needs, and demands of others. They learn, often as kids, that the price of admission to a relationship is to sideline their own needs and boundaries. Think about it. It is actually a brilliant adaptation to an unsafe environment. If you grew up in a place where saying no or having a different opinion was met with anger, punishment, or contempt, you learned fast that it was not safe to just be. If your perception of reality was constantly questioned, a dynamic known as gaslighting, you learned that your own gut feelings could not be trusted and needed to be constantly validated by someone else. In those situations, fighting or fleeing was not an option. So, you learned to fawn. You became helpful, agreeable, and an expert at reading the room to keep the peace. Over-explaining became a key tool in your toolbox. It was a way to appease, to show you were not trying to be difficult, and to de-escalate a potential conflict before it could even start. So when you feel that urge today, it is not a defect. It is the echo of a brilliant survival strategy that a younger you developed to get through it all. What was once a shield is now a suit of armor that is just too heavy. Recognizing this is the first, most powerful step toward putting that weight down. You are not broken. You are a survivor. So why does this feel so automatic? Like you cannot stop it? Because it can get wired into your nervous system. Experiences with trauma or chronic anxiety can put your brain on high alert, a state called hypervigilance. Your brain becomes an expert at scanning for any sign of social danger or rejection. When you perceive a threat, like someone seeming just a little bit annoyed in a text, It can trigger what many people call an amygdala hijack. The amygdala, your brain's threat detection center, sounds the alarm and can bypass your rational mind before it has a chance to say, "Hey, hold on, they are probably just busy." In that split second, your body is already reacting. For those with a strong fawn response, the instinct is to appease and pacify. Over-explaining is the verbal form of that appeasement. A rush of words meant to smooth things over and prevent the feared outcome of anger or abandonment. While this pattern is often linked to an anxious attachment style, where the fear of losing connection is sky-high, it is not the only reason. Over-explaining can also be a common trait for people with different communication styles or ways of thinking, including some neurodivergent people who are trying to be perfectly clear or who have trouble reading subtle social cues. But here is the paradox. This constant effort to manage how others see you actually gives them all the power. It keeps you stuck, seeking external validation, a hunger that can never really be satisfied because it comes from a place of internal fear. The only way out is to stop looking for safety outside of yourself and start building it from within. Healing from this is not about becoming cold or uncaring. It is about learning you can be kind to others while also being kind to yourself. It is about slowly building a tolerance for being misunderstood and realizing your worth is not up for debate. Here are a few gentle, practical steps to get started. First, there is a powerful tool for specific situations called JADE. It stands for Do Not Justify, Argue, Defend, or Explain. Now, this is not a rule for all of life. Explaining things is often healthy and necessary. But it is a lifesaver in moments where you feel that compulsive urge with someone who might use your explanation against you. Practice a simple, clear boundary. "I am not able to take that on right now." Or, "Thank you for the invitation, but I will not be able to make it." Then, notice the discomfort that bubbles up. That is when you use the next step, the power of the pause. When you feel that urge to fill the silence with justifications, just do not. Pause. Take one deep breath. That tiny gap between the trigger and your conditioned response is where your power lives. In that gap, you can make a new choice. You can remind yourself, "My no is a complete sentence." You are not responsible for managing their reaction. Third, start small. Please do not try this out on the most intimidating person you know first. Practice in low-stakes situations. Say no thank you to the person offering free samples without explaining your dietary restrictions. Tell a friend you cannot talk right now without giving them your entire to-do list. These little wins build confidence and show your nervous system that you will, in fact, survive. Finally, and most importantly, practice radical self-compassion. You are unlearning a pattern that your brain adopted to keep you safe. Some days, you will fall back into old habits. That is okay. The goal is not perfection. It is awareness. When you catch yourself over-explaining, be kind. "I see that my survival response showed up. It was trying to protect me. Thank you, but I am safe now." Befriending your own responses is where the deepest healing begins. Unlearning this pattern is a journey, not a quick fix. It is the process of slowly and patiently teaching yourself that you are safe. Your needs matter, and your voice deserves to be heard without an audition. And while understanding this is a huge first step, working with a trauma-informed therapist can provide the safety and guidance to heal these deeper wounds. What we have talked about today shows that the urge to over-explain is not a sign there is something wrong with you. It is a sign of what you have survived. The exhaustion you feel is real, but so is the possibility of peace. The journey starts right here, with this awareness. The understanding that you do not have to live your life on the witness stand.